welcome. Second to last video here for America at War. Again, thank you guys for watching the obscenely long and fairly boring videos. Even though I know most people don't want to watch like 2 minutes of this and stuff. Hair looks great again. Am I losing it? Who's to say? Who's to say I ever really had it? Answer some questions here. Last video I'm out of frame. Will drop Friday. I think I'm gonna make it the first annual America at War, or the inaugural America at War award show. Yeah, we'll do something like that. Tune in on Friday. We'll go live. I don't know how to do that. Okay, read some questions here. Hope you guys are doing well. Getting outside a little bit, fresh air. Snow the other day. That was stupid. Whew. All right. Okay. Second to last video. I'm not gonna get emotional here. Okay. Why was D-Day so important? A lot of really good answers. Let's see here. Alexis. It marked the turn of the tide for controlling the land maintained by the Nazis. Great answer. Owen. Many people say it's the most important battle in human history because it's the Allies versus the Nazis. Whoever wins at D-Day is winning World War II. To make it simple, if we don't win at D-Day, the course of human history is completely different, and the Nazis win. 100% correct. It's, if we don't win at D-Day, the next 75 years of human history is completely different. So this is very high stakes. Sophie, I know this is shocking that I'm picking one of yours, but I know, shocking stuff. It was a turning point in the war that made it clear that the Germans were going to lose. It also showed how much planning had to go into something, and that you had to plan for it not to work. This is important for World War II because so many battles were high stakes and things did not work out. Then it's critical to understand how to win with things still going wrong. D-Day was important as well because it shows just how much one person stepping up can change a battle. Individual acts of heroism change the course of the battle, and this is lessons people can take into consideration when fighting in the future. I think that's a great answer. I think especially the fact you're focusing on the individual, that individual heroic actions are what turn the tide of the battle. People like Teddy Roosevelt Jr., like taking control of what was a chaotic situation on the beachheads of Omaha and remedying things. The individuals, the boys of Ponte Ho, who scaled the walls of the bunkers to actually throw grenades in there to stop those individuals. The 101st Airborne Division, so you have a lot of individuals who did incredible things. Wounded Warrior Project, by the way. Here, never forget. Okay, great answer. Estrella, I've been very impressed by all of your stuff here. Have I noticed that you and a couple other students, I think, have almost the same answers and everything? Yeah, a little concerned by that. But hey, this is distance learning, neither here nor there. I don't know why I said that. Okay. Lily Euler, very simple answer. Without Nazi won't be defeated. Like it. Hardcore Nick. Me and Nick had a good discussion on Tuesday about the Punisher TV show. Good discussion. I appreciated that. Thank you, Nick. Mark the tide or turning tide of the war. 100% correct. Captain America, Ryan Bergman. At least all understanding how large-scale operations need to be done. I like that because it's a big picture one that now today. See my finger? I dropped a weight on it. It's a blood blister. It's very painful. Jeez. Gotta take a deep breath there. I'm losing it. The D-Day does kind of lay the groundwork for other large-scale military operations, especially of the amphibious variety. Abby Murray, it was an invasion helped end World War II. Love the answer. Autumn, great answer. It dictates the outcome of the war. If we don't win, we would lose. Again, a lot of really, really good answers. Josel. Joe, who's been at every single Zoom conference meeting. It began a slow crawl to Nazi surrender. 100% correct on that. Ellie was the turning point in the war. Really? Was it? I don't know. You can make that case. You can make the argument. Ellie, 10 points. No, it boosts U.S. morale, puts more pressure on the Germans. Again, these are really good answers. Nevea made the World War II turn around. like Cheyenne marked the turning tide for the Nazis. Less than a year later, the Allies accept the surrender. So a lot of really good answers there. On your own questions, that's what you guys came to see. Ridiculous questions by different people. Let's see what happens. Lou, question: what if we lose at D-Day but win at Midway? What would happen? It is conceivable that we could have beat beat the Japanese in the Pacific theater of the war and lost to the Germans in the Atlantic theater of the war. So it would have been like World War II was a tie essentially. That could have actually happened. Jane Barnhill, how could D-Day turn out differently if the Nazis didn't mess up? If the Nazis wouldn't have put all their tank divisions at Calais, they'd probably repel the invasion and we lose World War II. Chandler, your question is, my mom laughed at your outfit on Mailbag number 3. Well, that's not a question. So, no points. Not a question. Alexa, how many Canadian soldiers died on D-Day? Less than 1,000. Less than 1,000. Canada kind of gets the short end of the stick on World War II because they were kind of the third big part of the U.S., British, and like they always say the French. The French didn't do much. The Canadians did far more, and they kind of get a short end of the stick. Sophie, without the individual acts of heroism, people at Omaha Beach, would D-Day's outcome have been the same? If so, how would it have been different? Like, this is some deep thinking stuff. There's two main thoughts on like the way history works. One of the ways is that history is completely random. That there's really like no like end thing in mind. That people make decisions, and then from those decisions, like you have outcomes. Another theory on history is one that not that things are predetermined, but that like history has a way of what's supposed to happen will happen. Now, if you believe in the first version of history, the randomness of things, then these individuals did completely change the course of human history. If you believe that different things are inevitable, well, then know that someone else would have stepped up in that place. I tend to believe the third option, which I'm bringing up, which is some say that all life is, and all history is ultimately a battle between good and evil, and it plays out across numerous different ways. War is the most obvious of those, and that ultimately all of us are just actors in this giant play. I think that's the most interesting way of viewing history, that it's one giant battle. It's one giant battle between good and evil, and we all have a part to play in that. If that's the way you want to view history, then these individuals on D-Day were true heroes that in the moment decided to be good and decided to do heroic things, and they changed the course of human history. Straight up, why does planning take so long? Sometimes planning takes a very short period of time, but if you want to plan, you want to do things right. Baseball bat's still here, by the way. No, it's random. I hate myself. That you have to make sure you have you account for all possible scenarios, and that takes a long time. As they always say, prior planning prevents poor performance. The more you plan, the more likely you are to be successful. And so when you're dealing with like large-scale military operations or anything of great importance, you want to take your time. You don't want to rush into things. That's why it takes so long. Let's see here. Hardcore Nick. What would happen if we went in on the 5th instead of the 6th? We would have lost. The seas would have been so rough that the soldiers would not have been able to make it to shore, and our ships would have not gotten across the English Channel. Why did they give Patton the fake army? Because the Germans believed that Patton was the Americans' greatest commander, and that he would have to be the one leading the D-Day invasion, not Eisenhower. The Germans did not think very highly of Eisenhower, but that's because the Germans' theories of military were very different than American theories. Germans didn't care about strategic thinking. They were all about tactical thinking. So Rommel was a great tactician, but he was a poor strategist. They didn't realize that strategy matters. They were so focused on tactics that they didn't realize strategy mattered, which is crazy because they had von Clausewitz to learn from because it was written in German. But it was a lesson that they just didn't go with. Abby Murray, what had happened if D-Day never occurred? So that's not we attacked and failed. That just never happened. Would we have still won? I don't know. I honestly don't know. If we don't have a land invasion of Europe at some point in time, we do not win World War II. Whether that comes in the form of D-Day or another type event, but we would need that amphibious invasion. Did we win? We did. Hunter Mall, what happened during the mock invasion? The seas were so bad and there's so much miscommunication between the U.S. ships. The U.S. ships got off course and a bunch of German subs found them and sunk them. How much of the German information was fake? Almost all the information, this is from Andrew Green, almost all the information we gave the Germans prior to D-Day invasion, we're talking about 8 months prior, was basically fake. So we had essentially we outsmarted the Germans for 8 months. This was like a very well planned out thing. What would Tyler Johnson? What happened if communication wasn't cut? The Germans would be able to reinforce the beachheads, and we probably would have lost. So the cutting those communication lines are very important. Noel Gilbertson. Who do you think was the best leader in D-Day? As much as I love Patton technically wasn't there at D-Day. He was still off on the English coast, faking that he was leading the next army. That's tough. I think Theodore Roosevelt Jr. probably showed the best leadership. Him with a cane and no gun, pointing soldiers where to go on Omaha Beach that morning. I'm going to say Theodore Roosevelt, even though Matthew Ridgway, one of the other generals under Eisenhower, also showed tremendous courage that morning, leading soldiers physically on the battlefield. Ellie, what did all the young soldiers feel like? Ellie, this is a really good question. Oh, Jimmy, this is a really good question. I'm impressed by this. There's a quote I don't think I've said in class, but it's a depressing quote, but it's true. Only the dead know the end of war. That for us living, war is always something that's a possibility. War is always something that's on the forefront. How do the young soldiers feel like? If you read any of the accounts and stuff, they were scared. They were very scared. That's natural. Like even these individuals who are Medal of Honor winners will even admit they're scared in that moment that no one wants to die. But they say that's kind of what allows them to do what they can, because the fear of death can be so great that it drives you to do incredible things. And so they say a lot of those soldiers, especially those first ones on the beachheads at Omaha, were scared. These are 18-year-old kids, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, storming the beaches in Normandy. And I do think it is kind of funny when you have individuals that are complaining about everything in the world. Oh, my cell phone doesn't work, things like that. Like, hey, 75 years ago, like, you had 16-year-olds that were literally storming beaches trying to free the world from oppression. Like, so there you go. Ellie, that's one of the best questions I ever got. You should be very proud of yourself on that. Okay, more funny questions. Let's go. Javier, how's quarantine? As you can see, it's not going well for me. Alright, the video froze, so there's going to be a weird cut thing in here, but whatever, we'll figure out this technology. Stupid. The back just fell. A lot of symbolism there. Okay. Let's go with some more. Did any of my family members fight at D-Day? Jameson asked that question. They did not. They were in the Pacific Theater of the War. Nick, would Mr. Frank survive in D-Day? Yes. I would take the baseball bat and I would run straight at the Germans and give them a little American muscle. And they'd be afraid because they're cowards. And Corona's afraid. And I don't know where I'm going with this. No, I'm talking very softly for some reason. Ryan, Captain America. Why are the Germans so convinced that Patton's going to lead the army? Again, the Germans believe that Patton was the greatest tactician of the American army, which is not untrue. And so they believe that he would definitely have to be the one leading any attack. Abby Murray. When will Corona be over? Because I want to go to D.C. At the time of recording this, I think you've received an email. I would love to figure out a way to somehow still make this trip possible for you guys, or those who be interested. I don't know. I have some ideas in mind. I can make no promises, but I'm going to investigate some things, see what can happen. I have to call in some favors. So, let's see what happens. Okay. Let's see here. Connor Siebert, will Mr. Frank Sandy survive quarantine? Nope. That's already gone. Tyler K, how many risks were we making? 11. Hunter Doll Soldiers know there's a big chance they would go in the wrong location. They knew that there was a possibility that would happen. They didn't realize to the extent. Let's see here. Joe Sell, why was D-Day moved from June 5th to June 6th? Oh, he answered his own question. Bad weather. Joe, awesome job. Nevea, how are you doing, Mr. Frank? Other than the fact my hair looks awful, and the fact that I haven't shaved in a while, and I have this giant bald spot right here. I can't figure out this camera thing. It's there, though. Jeez, I'm losing it. So yeah, I'm losing it. There you go. But my home gym, I can work out like twice a day, 3 times a day. So the gains are getting had. And I guess that's, in the end, that's what really matters. What is the second most important battle of this Oliver? What's the second most important battle in World War II? It's either Midway or Battle of Bulge. That's kind of a toss-up. It depends on kind of your bias on if you're Army or Navy. If you're Army, you like Battle of Bulge. If you're more of a Navy person, you like Midway. There you go. Lily, how much does John Cena weigh? I don't know because you can't see him. Okay, that's stupid. That was stupid. Noah Gilbertson, this is not a question. Owen Liu has a... I'm not going to use the word term you use, but you're basically saying he has an obsession with battleships. Owen? Noah, that is probably true. That's cool. That's cool. Worst things to be obsessed with. Ellie, final question. And this is another great question. Ellie, you came up with 2 phenomenal questions. I'm very impressed by this. Was it hard killing a bunch of other people? Yeah, human beings aren't built to kill other human beings. I have the book up there somewhere. You know what? I'm going to grab it. You guys can formulate questions on this if you want, why I have this book and why I've read the book. The book is called On Killing. It's by Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman. That's the individual who came up with the sheepdog and all that theory. And what he talks about is like the justification where sometimes like in combat, like killing is obviously justified. It's tough for everyone. Like there's soldiers who from World War II openly say that like they couldn't stand the sight of blood the rest of their lives, the next 60, 70 years of their lives, from this and stuff. Other individuals were fine. I think it very much depends on the individual, depends on the person. Yeah, it was hard. It was certainly hard. But at the end of the day, a lot of war is you kill before you're killed. So it was not easy for him. Not easy for him. Great questions, guys. Great questions. Let's see here. Asking more questions. I like questions. We have one more video and an award show. A black tie affair. If I can figure out how to go live with stuff, we'll go live. Let's see how it works. Okay. Catch you on the flip side.